tell you, I don't know what more you want from me. I put out the APB on her. I thought it was premature, but I did it.
Just telling the police to keep an eye out isn't enough. You should be mounting search parties. You should have helicopter patrols.
Right, that's a great idea. Where do I tell him to look? Where do I tell him Kelly might be?
Kelly and Nick. Nick is missing, too.
We don't know they're together, Eden.
We went to the apartment. There were pictures everywhere. You can't tell me you weren't as disturbed by that as I was. Something was very wrong there.
Maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. I'm not going to condemn Nick Hartley out of hand unless I have some solid evidence to go on. I mean, for all we know, the two of them could be having fun together. They could be doing something nice. Maybe they're on a picnic. Maybe they're on a hike.
Except you don't really believe that. You're just sitting on the fence right now. And when you finally do get alarmed, it's going to be too late to do anything. You should do something now.
I am doing something now. And when I get something more to go on, then I'll do something else. So get off my case. I'm as worried about this as you are.
I think it's fairly obvious from his behavior that Nick Hartley is one of those tragic Vietnam casualties that we've all heard about. He's a man who comes back and can't adapt to the world that he's come back to. In effect, a walking time bomb ready to explode at any moment.
Well, that's a horrifying thought. I think Jack is right. Everything is pointing to Nick now. I was so blind, I should have been able to see what was coming.
Oh, Cece, how could you possibly have seen it?
There were indications. I just wasn't quick enough to recognize them for what they were.
No, Cece, you must not blame yourself.
Don't worry, it won't last long.
Have you found out anything?
Nothing definite, Mr. C.
Personally, I think it's Nick that's involved with Kelly disappearing. We went over to his apartment. There were a lot of pictures all around, all over the place. And I found a piece of material that I think came from Kelly's blouse.
Oh, Lord, then it's true.
I put out an APB on both of them, but I'm not going to make any presumptions about Nick's involvement until I see the lab report on that blouse.
Cruz, we don't have time to wait for lab reports.
Cruz, if Nick is anything like Peter Flint, I think that's what we're worried about.
Sophia, it's a little premature to be speculating about stuff like that. We don't even have one solid piece of evidence yet.
I don't give a damn about that. If Nick Hartley is innocent, then he can come and clear himself easily enough, but he hasn't come forward. And I want that man brought back then and found. Now, if you're not willing or able to do that, I'll go over your head. Do you understand?
As I told you, Cece, you just say the word and I'll put in a call to my friends at the FBI.
I appreciate that, Jack.
Yeah, that's really nice of you, Mr. Lee, but there's no point in dragging them into this until we know that it is a federal matter indeed. I mean, so far, she hasn't even been kidnapped as far as we know. Until we get a ransom demand, she's simply missing.
And Nick is missing, too. Gee, maybe they were both kidnapped together.
Stranger things have happened.
Maybe they ran off together. Maybe they eloped.
No, Eden, I don't think this is something to be made light of. They haven't done anything of the kind.
Daddy, I know it isn't. It's just I'm trying to point out to Cruz that you're not facing the facts. Nick has done something to her. There's no possible explanation besides that. You are refusing to face it.
Yeah, right.
Well, if there's nothing more I can do here, I ought to be on my way. I've got a few appointments at my office.
All right, Jack, I'll see you out. I may still take you up on that offer to call the FBI.
Of course, I'll be glad to, whenever you're ready. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, thank you.
You're not doing a thing.
It's my job.
No,
to
stop.
handle this job.
Please, stop this. I hope you realize that this bickering isn't helping anything. It's only adding to the anxiety your father's over feeling.
Well, I'm sorry, Sophia, but I don't think your daughter is qualified to tell me how to do my job.
Oh, and if anybody knows how to do a job, it's certainly Cruz Castillo. Far be it from a woman to give any intelligent contribution.
Oh, there you go. That's right. You see, I won't give in to you, and therefore I'm a male chauvinist. It makes perfect sense, right?
Now, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Cruz is right, Eden. You can't turn this into a battle of the sexes. He's just trying to do his job.
Oh, I am so tired of hearing that. That's your excuse for everything lately, isn't it?
Ah, lemonade. For Brandon, I suppose.
And anyone else that would like it.
Next, you'll be baking him little cookies. Anything to stay close to him, right?
You know, the only reason I am here to take care of Brandon is because my mother is sick and she asked me to help out.
Yes, well, maybe his legal mother will be home in a few days, and then you won't have to help out. Would you be brokenhearted?
You don't get over what Gina has overnight?
Oh, I don't know. She seems calmer every time I see her.
Probably because they're sedating her.
I just think she needs a little more time, a little self-confidence. I'd say a week at the outside.
You don't sound very sure of that. I think you're just hoping.
Well, of course I'm just hoping. I'm not qualified to predict.
You know, I sense a great deal of uncertainty about Gina around this house. I don't think she's getting well as quickly as everyone expected. And that makes me wonder.
Yeah, well, everything makes you wonder, Santana. There's no need. The boy will be well taken care of. He's not going to be sent off to the workhouse like Oliver Twist. Santana, he's not yours. You have no claim to him. As trustee of his estate, even I have more to say about his welfare than you do.
Only you never gave birth to him. You don't know what that's like. I carried him for 9 months. He was born out of a love that Channing and I shared, and none of you, not one of you, know how much I loved that child, or how difficult it was for me to give him up.
Santana, you're just working yourself up over nothing. Gina is going to recover fully and be home very soon.
Oh, that's what Mason keeps trying to tell me. You know, I cannot believe that you two are actually in agreement over something.
Law of averages caught up to us.
Well, I don't care if you agree with all of North America. I don't think Gina is getting any better now, or will get any better in the future.
Well, I don't care what you think. You have no voice in this family. Today you're here as a servant, to serve and be silent.
Cece. Now, we're all on edge. It's not going to help anything for us to quarrel among ourselves.
I'll calm down when Santana's out of this house.
You are not going to shut me out of Brandon's life. Not any of you.
Santana, take it easy.
Leave me alone.
I can't stand people who can't abide by their decisions. She has no strength of purpose at all, and little character. She's not fit to be Brandon's guardian.
You know, Mr. C, she's in a hell of a position here, and I think that you, of all people, would appreciate it.
Why should I be concerned about Santana's sensibilities? If she can't accept the realities of the decision she made a long time ago, then let her stay away from here.
Don't you have any...
Cece, Cruz, stop it, all of you. Stop it. Now, we have to be worrying about Kelly. That's where our concern should be right now.
I'm sorry, Sophia, you're right.
Look, we're all upset. Why don't we just get back to what's really important here, okay?
All right.
Mason, I want you to do something for me.
Really? What's that?
I want you to go see Gina. I promised her that I would stop by today, but this situation with Kelly, I just don't want to be away from her. I want you to find out how she's really doing. I want to know when she's going to be ready to come back home.
What's the matter, Dad? You worried about Santana?
You should be worried, too. All of us should be worried.
He's one of us.
Hello?
Mr. Capwell, it's Nick Hartley.
Hello? Who is this?
It's Nick Hartley. Can't you hear me? I said it's Nick.
Nick? What have you done with my daughter? Where are you?
Kidnapped.
You're going to jail when I get my hands on you. I'll put you away for the rest of your life.
Mr. C, let me talk to him.
And if you harm a hair on Kelly's head, I'll kill you personally. You understand?
Sir, listen to me, please. Can't you hear me? I don't... Kelly is, but...
Listen, I'm going to find you, too. It's only a matter of time. I'll call out the National Guard if I have to.
Oh, my God. They think I've kidnapped her.
He hung up.
What did he say?
Well, there was too much static. Jack was right. Hartley's been in on this all the time.
I'm going back to the houseboat. Let me try to reach you there.
I'm going with you.
Listen, if he calls again, try to keep him on the line as long as you can. I'm going to put a tap on your phone. Let's go if you're going.
Cruz, it's me, Nick. They've got Kelly. Yes, you do. They're going to kill her if they... Give them the money they have. That's it. Sierra's about 3 miles from Lone Pine. A lot of the... I know where they are. I'll get back to you.
Oh, damn.
Guess that pretty well settles it, doesn't it?
I need to hear that again.
Yeah, I heard all I need to hear. He's got her.
Look, you can't tell what he's saying in the middle of all that garbage. It's just like the call to your dad.
He mentioned Lone Pine.
Cruz, it's me.
That's about the only thing I could understand him say.
What's it gonna take to get you to accept what's happened?
God,
That you don't know Nick the way you thought you knew him. He has kidnapped her, and you've got to find him. That's your duty,
Going to kill
Inspector.
her if they... Give them the money they have.
Do you mind if I use your phone again?
I don't think you'll have any better luck.
Maybe not, but this area is too big for me to search. I've got to get a hold of Cruz. I know he'll believe me and he'll come help.
Go ahead, then.
Why don't you just let Jack Lee call some of his friends at the FBI?
Jack Lee. I've got just as many contacts as that dude does, believe me.
Cruz, this is not about a popularity contest. It's about having somebody call something. Call the Army, the police department, someone. We have a location, Lone Pine.
Eden, we don't know what we have.
Well, I'm not going to stand here and argue with you. I'm going to call...
Don't touch that phone. Hello.
Cruz, thank heavens I got you. It's Nick.
Nick, is that you?
Yes, it's me. Listen, they kidnapped both me and Kelly. I managed to get away, and I'm up here at a farm just south of... I need your help.
Man, I can't make out a word you're saying. Listen to me. If you've got Kelly, you better bring her home. I don't know what's going on between the two of you, and I don't really care, but you better get her back here, man, because if you don't, all hell's gonna break loose.
You hear me?
All right. Okay, I'll do it all on my own. Do either of you know if there are any silos in this area?
Silos? There are hundreds of them.
Hundreds?
Oh, yes. When the weather clears up, you can see them. They line the landscape. Every farm in this country has a silo.
Wait. Maybe it's another kind of silo. Remember there was some old missile silos back in the hills.
That's right, but they don't use them anymore.
Listen, that sounds what I'm looking for. Do you think you could draw another map and show me where they are?
Of course. But it's very rugged country, especially in this kind of weather when the rivers are flooded. We won't have an easy time getting there.
It's all right. I don't care how hard it is. I'll do anything I have to. All I care about is getting Kelly.
Did you hear anything from him?
Well, he left a message on my answering machine, and then he called back again later, but I couldn't make out what he was saying any more than you could.
Why don't you play the tape for Daddy?
Yeah. Maybe you guys can help us make it out.
Cruz, it's me, Nick. They've got Kelly. I guess you're going to kill her if they give them the money they have. That's it. Sierra's about 3 miles from Lone Pine. A lot of the roads, I think I know where they are. I'll get back to you.
You see?
Well, if that isn't enough to take some action, why are you protecting a man like that?
A man like what? You can't pin this on Nick because of that tape. You can put out an APB on him, and I've already done that. Honestly, I don't know what you people expect of me.
Do something. An APB, that doesn't mean anything. You just can't...
Hello. Yes, he's here.
Thanks, yeah. Yeah.
They mentioned the location. He mentioned Lone Pine.
Well, did Cruz notify the authorities up there?
Yes, he did.
Well, then he is doing everything he can. Eden, you're being too impatient.
I'm frightened, Mason.
All right, I got some news. The lab has confirmed that the fragment of cloth we found most probably did belong to Kelly. The perfume on it matches the kind she uses.
I knew it.
I must say I'm surprised.
Well, does that change your mind about the situation now, Cruz?
If this doesn't, nothing will.
Look, I could be wrong about Nick, and you guys could all be right, okay? He could be guilty as sin. I'm not denying that, all right?
But we have to do something to find him.
Fine.
Wait for me!
Now, you see, the phone company gave me a list of all the counties that reported storm damage to their lines. Now, in Mono County, they're getting incoming calls, but their outgoing calls are garbled.
That's obviously where he called from.
Well, that's most likely where he called from. I'm gonna go up there and see if I can coordinate a manhunt with the local authorities.
I'm coming with you.
This is yours. I don't think that would be such a good idea.
I don't know why you continue to shut me. I don't think this is fair.
You're not a policewoman. You probably weren't even a Girl Scout. I just think that you'd probably get in the way, that's all.
I don't know. I've been with you before. I've been able to help.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not denying that. But after what's gone on between us in the last couple of weeks, I just think you'd be, it just would be hard for me, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to take me with you, then I'm going by public transportation. I'll go and Kelly is my sister, and I have a right to be allowed to help find her.
I don't know why you even try. I mean, you're going to do whatever you want. You don't care what I say. Well, I can get you to do what I want is to tie you to a tree.
Is that the Cruz Castillo way of saying yes?
I just want to be there even when they find Nikki, because I know that there's a reasonable explanation for all of this.
Well, if he can prove it, all right. But I don't think he can.
Fine. You want to tag along? Let's be tagging.